Have you ever sat down with your morning eggs and thought, I've been eating these for years, how bad could they really be? It's a fair question. Eggs have been a breakfast staple for generations. They're affordable, packed with protein, and easy to make. Whether it's a soft-boiled egg with toast or a cheesy omelet on the weekends, eggs just feel like comfort food, especially when you've got more time to enjoy them in retirement. But here's the thing most folks don't realize: as we get older, the way we eat certain foods, including eggs, needs to change. Your body at 70 is not the same as it was at 30. What used to be harmless or even healthy might now cause you problems without you even noticing, until it's too late. And when it comes to eggs, there are some everyday habits that could quietly be harming your heart, your cholesterol, and even your digestion. Now don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to give up eggs completely. In fact, eggs can still be a wonderful part of a healthy diet after 60. But only if you avoid the 5 dangerous ways many seniors are eating them every day without knowing the risk. So let's take a closer look at how to protect your health without giving up the foods you love. And to start, let me ask you, how do you usually cook your eggs? If you said fried, you're not alone. A lot of people still love the taste of eggs fried in a pan with a bit of oil or butter. But here's the first danger we need to talk about. Frying eggs in unhealthy oils is one of the biggest mistakes older adults can make. When you fry an egg in vegetable oils like corn oil, canola oil, or even margarine, you're exposing it to high heat and fats that become unstable. These oils break down into compounds that promote inflammation, damage blood vessels, and can even raise your risk of heart disease. And if you've been told your cholesterol is high, or you're taking medication to manage it, this kind of cooking can quietly undo all that effort. Even frying eggs in butter every morning can be a problem if you're not balancing it with the rest of your diet. Butter's not the villain it used to be made out to be, but in large amounts, especially when combined with toast, bacon, and cheese, it can become part of a bigger issue. So if you love fried eggs, the solution isn't to give them up completely, it's to switch how you're cooking them. Try poaching your eggs instead. Or boil them. If you want a pan-fried egg, cook it on a nonstick skillet with just a touch of olive oil. And most importantly, avoid the temptation to overcook the yolk. That brings us to the second mistake. Overcooking eggs destroys their nutrients and can create harmful compounds. You know that gray-green ring that sometimes forms around the yolk of a hard-boiled egg? That's not just a sign you cooked it too long, it's also a sign that the iron and sulfur in the egg have started to react, forming something called ferrous sulfide. It sounds harmless, but when you eat overcooked eggs regularly, this process can irritate your digestive system and reduce the amount of bioavailable nutrients your body absorbs. Think about it, at 70, your body has to work harder to digest food and absorb nutrients. Why make it harder by eating eggs that have been cooked to the point of no return? You're not just making them taste rubbery, you're losing some of the very vitamins and minerals that make eggs so healthy in the first place. To get the most benefit from eggs, keep the yolk slightly soft, but cooked through. Not runny if that bothers your stomach, but not dry either. This preserves the vitamin D, the choline, and the healthy fats that help with brain function, memory, and mood, things we all want to protect as we age. Now, let's talk about something else that might surprise you. The third dangerous way people are eating eggs every day is with the wrong combinations. You see, the body changes with age. It becomes less forgiving when it comes to how foods interact. One major mistake I see often? Combining eggs with heavy processed meats like bacon, sausage, or ham every single day. Sure, that classic diner breakfast might taste nostalgic, but the salt, nitrates, and saturated fats in processed meats have been linked to everything from heart disease to colon problems, especially in older adults. When you eat eggs alongside processed meats regularly, you're doubling down on the risks without realizing it. That combo pushes your sodium levels higher, can increase your blood pressure, and over time, if it becomes a daily habit, it can start to take a toll on your arteries and digestion. Instead, try pairing your eggs with something lighter and more fiber-rich. Sautéed spinach, mushrooms, avocado, or even a slice of whole grain toast will give your body the support it needs without piling on the salt and saturated fat. You'll still feel satisfied, but your heart and gut will thank you. And here's another twist. Eating eggs alone without any fiber can also be risky, especially if constipation has been an issue for you. Eggs have zero fiber, so if you're not pairing them with something like vegetables or fruit, they might leave your digestion feeling sluggish. A simple change, like adding a handful of berries or a small salad, can make all the difference. So far, we've talked about how cooking methods, overcooking, and food pairings can all affect how healthy or unhealthy eggs are for seniors. And these are all changes you can start making right away. You don't have to give up your eggs. You just need to make sure they're helping your health, not silently hurting it. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now, let's talk about another way eggs can turn from a healthy choice into a health risk, something most people over 60 don't even think twice about. And that's eating eggs when they're not fully cooked. I know. A soft-boiled egg with a slightly runny yolk, or those sunny-side-up eggs with a golden center that jiggles a little, there's just something comforting and nostalgic about them. Maybe that's how you've been eating eggs your whole life. But here's the truth, as we age, our immune system simply doesn't work the way it used to. What your body could handle at 30 or even 50 might now be too risky after 60. Undercooked or raw eggs are one of the most common sources of salmonella bacteria. For a younger, healthy adult, food poisoning might mean a rough couple of days. But for seniors, it can lead to serious complications, severe dehydration, hospitalization, even long-term digestive issues. And the tricky part? Sometimes these infections creep in slowly. A little stomach upset here, a bit of fatigue there. You might not even connect the dots until it's too late. So, what should you do? Make sure your eggs are fully cooked. That means yolks and whites are both firm, especially if you're frying or boiling them. If you love soft eggs, consider alternatives like scrambled eggs or omelets that still give you that tender texture but with less risk. And avoid recipes that call for raw eggs, like some homemade dressings, hollandaise sauce, or raw cookie dough. Yes, even that innocent-looking spoonful you sneak when baking with your grandkids. Now, speaking of cooking eggs, let's move on to another trap many seniors fall into, using too much fat to cook them. A little butter here, a splash of oil there, it adds flavor, sure. But over time, those extras add up, especially if you're eating eggs most mornings. Many older adults struggle with managing cholesterol levels, blood pressure, or weight. And while eggs themselves aren't the villain many once thought, how you cook them can make all the difference. Frying eggs in bacon grease, layering them with cheese, or drizzling them with heavy cream might feel indulgent, but your heart might not agree. Saturated fats and excess calories from oils and butter can silently raise your cholesterol and clog your arteries, especially if you're doing it day after day. And let's be honest, it's rarely just the eggs. That greasy cooking style often comes with sausages, white toast, and a side of jam or processed meats. It becomes a breakfast trap. Instead, try cooking your eggs with a nonstick pan and a tiny bit of olive oil spray. Better yet, steam or poach them. You'll still get flavor and satisfaction without drowning your breakfast in fat. If you love a buttery taste, look for healthier substitutes or add richness with herbs and spices. A little garlic, turmeric, or black pepper can do wonders without adding extra calories. And this brings me to something that often surprises people, eating eggs with the wrong sides. Eggs are incredibly versatile. But they're also a bit of a chameleon. They take on the health profile of whatever you pair them with. If you're always eating eggs with white toast, bacon, processed cheese, or fried hash browns, then you're turning a potentially healthy food into part of a not-so-healthy meal. The whole plate matters, not just the egg. Think about it. You might be watching your cholesterol, trying to cut back on sodium, or managing your blood sugar, but that creamy cheese or salty sausage throws everything off balance. And it's not about never enjoying your favorite foods. It's about being mindful of the daily choices that slowly shape your health. So, instead of the usual greasy breakfast, why not try adding some color to your plate? Sautéed spinach, sliced avocado, roasted sweet potatoes, or even a handful of cherry tomatoes can complement your eggs beautifully. They're gentle on digestion, full of fiber and nutrients, and they make your plate look fresh and inviting. Remember, eating well after 60 doesn't mean giving up flavor. It just means choosing smarter pairings. Your breakfast can still be delicious, it just doesn't have to come with a side of regret. There's one more egg mistake we need to talk about, one that's hidden right in your fridge and could be affecting your health more than you think. Alright, we've talked about undercooked eggs, cooking them with too much fat, and pairing them with the wrong foods. Now let's dig into something that most people never think about, but it's sitting right in your fridge. Number 4, eating old or expired eggs. Eggs seem like they last forever, right? You buy a dozen, they sit in the fridge for a few weeks, and as long as they don't smell bad, they must be fine. That's what most of us think. But here's the thing, eggs can go bad long before they smell or look off. And for seniors, eating spoiled eggs can have serious consequences. As we get older, our bodies aren't as resilient to foodborne bacteria. Even a small amount of contamination can trigger stomach pain, nausea, or something more serious like a bacterial infection. Plus, when your body is already dealing with other health conditions, recovering from food poisoning can take a much bigger toll. So, how do you know if your eggs are still safe? There's a simple test you can do right now. It's called the float test. Fill a bowl with water and gently drop your egg in. If it sinks and lies flat on its side, it's fresh. If it stands upright or floats, it's time to toss it. That means the egg has developed gas from bacteria inside, even if it doesn't smell bad yet. Also, don't rely only on the best by date on the carton. That's a guideline, not a guarantee. Always store eggs in the coldest part of your fridge, usually near the back, not on the door. And never leave them out at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Yes, even if they're hard-boiled. Hard-boiled eggs, by the way, don't last as long as raw eggs. Once cooked, they should be eaten within a week, even if you keep them refrigerated. And if you peel them, they need to be eaten even sooner. It's such a small habit, checking your eggs, but it can save you from a world of discomfort. Now, we've saved the most overlooked mistake for last, and this one isn't about how you cook or store your eggs. It's about how often you eat them, especially if you have certain health conditions. Number 5, eating too many eggs when you have pre-existing health issues. Look, eggs can be part of a healthy diet. They're full of protein, vitamin D, B12, and choline, all great nutrients for brain health, muscle strength, and energy. But here's the truth, not everyone over 60 should be eating eggs every day. If you have type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, or a history of heart disease, you need to talk to your doctor or dietitian before making eggs a daily habit. Some studies have shown that in people with diabetes, eating eggs daily might increase the risk of heart disease. Other research has linked high egg consumption with elevated cholesterol levels in sensitive individuals. And while more recent studies suggest that moderate egg intake is safe for most healthy people, moderate usually means about 3 to 6 eggs per week, not 2 every morning. It all comes down to your individual health profile. If you're managing chronic conditions, your body processes cholesterol differently. You may also be more sensitive to saturated fat or dietary cholesterol. And since eggs contain about 186 milligrams of cholesterol each, mostly in the yolk, eating multiple eggs a day might tip the balance if you're not careful. But don't worry, you don't have to give up eggs completely. You can make a smart adjustment. Try using 1 whole egg with extra egg whites. That way, you get the flavor and protein without overloading on cholesterol. Or limit eggs to a few times per week and rotate with other high-protein options like oatmeal, Greek yogurt, or tofu scrambles. Balance is key. The goal is to enjoy your food and protect your health. That's the real secret to aging well. To wrap this up, here's a quick recap of the 5 dangerous egg mistakes seniors should avoid. Skipping breakfast or not including protein, not eating eggs at all when your body needs protein in the morning. Eating undercooked or raw eggs, risk of salmonella, especially dangerous for seniors. Cooking eggs with too much fat or unhealthy sides, bacon, cheese, and butter can undo the benefits. Eating expired or improperly stored eggs, old eggs can harbor harmful bacteria. Overeating eggs when you have certain conditions, diabetes, high cholesterol, or heart disease call for moderation. Eggs can still be a healthy and delicious part of your day, but only if you know how to prepare them right and eat them in a way that supports your health after 60. Take care of yourself, eat smart, and don't be afraid to tweak old habits. A better breakfast can mean a better day and a better life. If you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up, share it with a friend over 60, and subscribe for more tips on healthy, independent living. You've got this. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.